Commissioners work session for Wednesday, October 9th, 2019. Review of work session discussion meeting minutes.
I didn't have anything on these minutes.
I do not as well. Department head report.
I have a couple things.
Okay.
First off, we're making progress, Tim, myself, with the engineers. We actually, the loop in the back of Rush Creek Park it's the, we talked about this at the last meeting a little bit. The base is, it's pretty shot, and what he's recommending we put down is FB. It's called flex. It's flex base, and that can actually be done through the winter months. That it's a product. It's not like it's not a hot asphalt mix. It's actually mixed on site. So that's what we're planning on doing, and it's not a price difference at all. So we're gonna go that route. The bid packet and the specs and everything are being put together now. We did run into a little snag with there's 22 drain lines that are underneath of that road, and they are all the old galvanized pipe, tin whistle they call it, and there are 6 locations where it's rotted through and it's actually created a sinkhole. So what we decided to do was just include in the packet, whenever the contractors come in, they'll do this as well, and that work can also take place throughout the winter to have everything ready for the final paving of the main road.
What do those pipes service? Does somebody need them?
Yes, we need them.
We need them.
Yeah, we need them. Yeah. Anytime that there's a pipe or anything, drainage pipe going under the road and stuff like that.
It's drainage.
It's drainage, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where we are with that. We're hoping, they understand that we want to get this out. So we're hoping that they have something put together for us by next week, right?
Yeah, there's no time limit on it.
Right.
We just want to get a bid out so that we have, they could do at least the flex base on the back end, the FB3 over the winter months. Get that out of the way so as soon as the warmer months come, they can get that front part done after the flood event time frames over with.
What kind of road then is the main road going into the park? You said the loop is FB.
Pardon me?
You said the loop is FB.
Yeah,
so the main road is something different.
The main road is going to be super paved, PennDOT super paved asphalt, milled, old stuff taken out, milled out, new base, super paved, binder course put down, and then the final.
And that has to be done in the spring.
Yes.
Yeah,
Can we get the RFP all in one?
Pardon me?
The RFP is all in one?
We can do it all as one, if that makes sense.
It's being done as one, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would be too costly to do separate because mobilization. If we just do one contract, you'll get the better price because it'll be one contractor doing it, and to try to bid it out a couple times, you'll have advertising costs, you'll have different costs of separate specs. It's just easier.
2020. Well, it'll be out of the 2020, your 2020 budget.
Yes. Yeah, even though, it'll be 2020.
Any other questions on the paving or anything? Okay. Well, one other thing that I have is obviously we had the elevator flood at the parking garage. It's been out since May. Everything has been approved through the insurance company. The parts have been ordered. There are a few parts on back order that they're waiting for. I asked for a timeline of when that would start, and they said they really can't give one until they find out, when these other parts that are on back order are coming on in. Have some concerns about, we go and repair this elevator, and in the spring we get heavy rains again, and we're right back to where we are now. I sent an email out. It was recommended from the insurance company that maybe we look into either relocating the elevator or putting a roof over the top floor of the parking garage to prevent this. We explored putting in drainage, but because of supports, cables and rebar and stuff that's in that floor, you can't do it. We talked about putting a barrier up around the unit itself. Because of ADA compliancy, we can't do that. So I'm kind of scratching my head as to how to move forward with this.
Is the elevator something that has to be operational for ADA?
It does. I mean, yes, it does.
All parking garages have to have an elevator? Or are we able to create more handicap spots on the first floor so they wouldn't have to use the elevator, so they can park on the floor?
I'll tell you what, let me look into that just so that I don't give you a wrong answer.
Okay. Yeah. I've been in many parking garages, so I don't know if
Yeah.
they all have them. I would assume they all have them, but I don't know.
Well, let's take a look at it. That way we consider all of our options.
And what about the engineer, what is it, Widmer? You have, taking a look at the parking garage, because that garage makes a V, the thought of maybe putting the elevator shaft on the outside of the garage on one of those high points of the V, maybe that's an option, and not in the center.
Yeah,
Would be-
I agree. We can
Make
have-
more sense than investing more money into an elevator that obviously was designed improperly.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other department head report? Hearing none? Move to solicitors?
The solicitors have we've prepared and provided you with a list of resolutions that will be in front of you for approval tomorrow at our public meeting. They are largely very standard resolutions. I can attempt to answer any questions you have or get you answers for anything that you have. The two I would point out would be 26 and 27. Those are the month-long contracts for cleaning of the Human Services building and the magistrate's offices to get us through the month of October until the new contracts start. But other than that, I don't see anything that really stands out to me as needing more explanation.
Pretty basic.
Yeah. And we will need an executive session to discuss an employee matter.
Any questions for a solicitor?
I don't have any.
We'll move to Board of Commissioners.
I don't have any.
Where are we?
Where are we?
I
I know.
I don't have anything either. I apologize about my attire. I was at a training this morning at Brady's Run with the ESU, and Commissioner Amy was planning on being there, and she had some other issues come up. So I attended for the board, so that's why I'm dressed like this. So I am going to go home and change. I don't have any other business, so we'll move to other business. Audience participation.
Is that me?
It can be you first. Yeah, I know we have some others as well.
Oh, good, because I gotta get back out there.
Good.
We finally managed to pull the bridge yesterday into trusses, and they're being shipped out this morning. I apologize for the delay, and you're all well aware of what that delay is with the railroad. Working Bridges was made the fall guy on that because PennDOT said so. So, and it was just easier for us to deal with the PUC than PennDOT. So there should have been a file on hand when they closed that road with the PUC that it was closed because of the railroad, et cetera, and more road closed signs, and the dangers that I saw when we went down there are now going to be rectified. You have a fairly long river bed there that is not protected. The PennDOT signs are easily movable. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably bolt those things down. So
Whose road is that, Tammy?
it's still PennDOT's road. They have not given the money to either of the townships yet to take on their roads.
It's supposed to be a turn-back program where the townships will take ownership of the roads and PennDOT will pay them to take over the roads.
Okay.
That still hasn't happened yet, so the state's-
PennDOT's aware of,
Oh yeah, they don't respond, but they're aware, yeah.
Okay.
And evidently it's because the South Beaver side of the road has a collapse at the top, so the cost for repairing that road is over $1 million, and not that they needed, I don't know, they're doing the whole road. Harrisburg has to vote on that. So as soon as that money is released for their road repairs, then they'll do something down there, I believe. I don't know if everybody was just waiting for us. It seems like it. So we have done our job. We have until May 1st to get it back up. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to make that deadline, but my crew is very busy. So I'm on it, and but we lost 6 months and a ton of money to that delay, which is neither here nor there. So it came out beautifully. There are some videos up on the Facebook page for you to see. Tammy was out there, and it was very helpful that they help with traffic control around that curve on Cannleton Road, which is just scary. I've been a car when the trucks come around there, so it's just scary. And what else? So they had to back out. So we really did need to stop traffic in order to get the trucks there from the crane company. They're loading it out today. The North Country Trail we are going to give the scrap on their side to them, and they will deal with getting rid of it. That will give them probably, $1,000, $1,500 to use in that area, which is what they want to do, to help with what they're doing with their trail, and they also want to help on the other side with just making sure that the site is better than it is now. There is still graffiti happening out there. You seem to have some devil worshippers in bright red, and so I would suggest looking at a budget later for some security cameras out there. Trail cams work very well at deterrence, and once you and the initials in bright red are there, if one wanted to track that down. But we believe that once there is more traffic out there, you'll have less vandalism. Any questions?
Nope. Thank you.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
On the Brush Creek issue, the road, we actually really wanted to see if we could get some emergency patch up in the front there where the soccer people all come in. I know probably can't maybe afford to patch the whole road because we're gonna repave it anyway, but it would be nice if we could at least fix up the very front where they come in, and it's not like a washboard, even if it was just cold patch, something cheap. I didn't know if they had any cold patch done at the DPW or not.
We do not have any at this time.
Is there any way we could
Yeah, this is
maybe
something-
purchase a little bit of cold patches to sort of level that front road up a little bit where we first come in?
I asked this question last week. how, is there anything that could, I know, just like I said, just putting a Band-Aid on it, is there anything, eventually it'll just wash out or come back up, but is there anything we could do? Because I even know, I think this weekend there's a
Track,
cross country.
yeah.
Pocket that sticks better, but
What
it's more
about
expensive.
some gravel? Can we put some gravel in those holes? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can put stone in. I mean, it's not like it's a highway where it's, you know, a lot of traffic, but the more traffic you have, the more the stone is gonna come out and spread out to the sides of the roads. They do make different grades of a cold patch. Some are cheaper than others. I can certainly look into that. I can tell you this, I do not have an extra cent in my budget for parks to do this, so I am gonna have to reach out to Corey and see where, if there's any money.
We had a lot of unexpected landslides in our parks and a lot of draining issues, a lot of unexpected issues at our ice arena.
Poor John being
there-
burned down.
Yeah, yeah.
I know it's hard, but I just wanted to interject that. I appreciate any thoughts on that.
Can you,
As far as the drainage goes, I'm glad that he was on top of that, because once you pave the road, you don't want to worry about digging up drain pipes that are rotted out. And we had pumped concrete into a couple of the tops back when I worked there, just to make sure that they didn't sink anymore. But with time, more of that pipe rusts and that concrete we dropped in on it starts to drop down, you're gonna lose your road. So,
Dan, can you look at getting some prices?
Certainly.
Get with the foreman out there, see what needs to be filled, send it to Corey, copy the board and Tim Ishman on it, so we could see if it's feasible and how to come up with the money for it.
Absolutely, yes.
thank you, board.
Hi, Lady Hathaway, Mary Township. I just want to come and thank you all. I appreciate Commissioner Camp, Commissioner Higley,
Dan.
Dan, for making the steps to bring our park back to life. It's greatly appreciated. I mean, you don't even know how wonderful, I mean, going down there and talking to people, knowing it's gonna happen, people's attitudes are like, okay, we're seeing progress. My one question is, the money that I'm getting for the playground, will that go into a separate account that'll go just to Brush Creek, or does it go to like a general account?
So, are you familiar with?
He wasn't here last time.
I am
So, Ms.
tangentially.
McElwain's working on getting a grant to put a new playground in. I don't necessarily know if, will the money come to the county, or will
I
she be
think
able?
it will, because I'm using your number.
Okay, then, it won't go into the general fund.
So it'll go, so Brush Creek was gonna get that money, it'll go to the playground.
If we have to add a line item to the Parks and Rec
Even
under
if
Brush
it's
Creek,
right.
Okay,
we'll earmark it for.
We should designate it
Yeah.
Okay.
with a line
Because we can
item
then use that
specifically
for
for,
interest.
yeah,
Use
okay.
that to gather more funds than to,
Yes.
Tim was telling us about ways to.
Yeah, it won't go into just a general
Okay.
fund, it will go earmarked.
And you're
in
gonna let
Brush
me know
Creek.
when that paper comes.
Yes, yes.
Oh, good job, guys.
when do you expect that to get
Waiting for a
here?
paper that was, the ones I submitted were old, your number, your county number. So they're sending you new ones, so as soon as he gets them, he sends them to me, I forward them right on to, Dominion Energy
Mhm.
and get the ball rolling with that, and I'm working with Penn Energy. They didn't ask for that, but I'm waiting to see, we're still in the early process with that. Penn Energy is the one that has the wells up our way, and Dominion has the pipeline, so that's why they said they would help with the park.
Okay,
Who are you working with from Penn Energy? Amy Gonzalez?
Lori? Is that his name?
Casey.
Casey.
Casey
Yeah,
Bowers.
Yeah, okay.
Amy is our liaison.
Okay.
But Casey's a little
Yeah,
higher in the echelon there, so.
Yeah. So hopefully, then that'll be all, once we get that, and do you have a certain company that we'd have to go through? Because I have, like, I was just going to buy what Riverside used. They sent me all their plans, who they got it from, and then the park people, I'm assuming, would put it together, and right? Is that how that goes now?
Without knowing anything about it, it's very hard for me to,
to purchase the playground from, I think she's
Well, we have
asking.
time,
Right.
we're good, we have time.
yeah.
it'll be spring, right?
Hopefully spring,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be great, but
So why don't we just give a heads up to Tim and Dan to start putting their thoughts together as to, because I'm sure with a county playground, there's, same thing with Riverside.
Right. they had the
Has to
handicap,
meet.
they sent all that, all the handicap accessible stuff, I mean, they sent, I think I gave you
I
a
have
copy of
the
the plans,
plans,
yeah. So.
And you gave me a catalog.
I gave you
I
a
still
catalog.
have-
He actually emailed me yesterday who they went through, the company,
Okay,
to get everything.
okay.
So, I can forward that on to you guys.
I think the thanks goes to you.
Um,
Really, your whole row there.
We're trying.
You're
We're
doing,
trying. I
you're
mean,
doing
I
some
don't-
really good
We're
things,
a
and I
little,
appreciate
quiet little
that.
community that
Sure,
love our park.
we do.
Brings us happiness. It is really, especially this time of year, it is absolutely beautiful down there. Going across the bridges and just looking down and the leach, it's very pretty. It's very pretty. Down visit us.
I actually have some photos that were submitted to the Friends of Brush Creek Park page by John Fox. Did you see them?
Mm-mm.
You could take those, it just caught the fog in the morning, which happens sometimes if you're out at the park early in the morning, over the lake, the covered bridge. These could actually be made into postcards. You could use those to make money for the project of the park. Or you might like to have them hanging in your commissioner's office on the wall, say, look at our beautiful park. But she captured the park in a different way than I had. I had some beautiful pictures, but hers were really off the wall. And I think you'll be proud to see them, I show. But I think that was all we had for now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other audience participation? Hearing none. Any reason to reconvene from executive session?
Nope.
All right, we will move into executive session, not reconvene. Thank you.